Okay, we've grabbed the bigger New Holland that we keep here at the winery. We use for little jobs around here. We'll hook up to our trailer and go into our little warehouse area. Grab Tommy some sugar that we're going to put into the machine for him. Let's see if we can get about 1,200. Well, that was a little more than 1,200. Just means we won't have to fill it too soon again. Probably should see how much is built up at the sugar mill. A little bit. We've got wine stacked up. We probably ought to see if Tommy's got a customer for that too. Alright, that chore's done. Okay, while we're here at the vineyard, we're going to spend a little bit of our money and plant some more grapes. See if we could find, there we go, white grapes. And we'll put this one on the left. Let's go over to where we got our red grapes going. Okay, pulling up to the vineyard for our red grapes. We're going to buy enough grapes here. Mods. There we go. Put this one on this side. Alright. Okay, here at the cherry orchard, we are going to buy another cherry tree. Put it in. If we can find the cherry trees. Here in our list of mods. Well, it may have been at the front list here. Here we go. Kirsch's cherry. Place it nicely there. Okay, driving the little Hurleman tractor over to where our plums are planted. And we'll buy another plum tree. Plant it right there. Nicely. Now off to the orange grove. Kind of investing our money back into the farm. Alright, here we are. And one orange tree. So we're here at the pear orchard. We're going to buy another pear tree. See if I can figure out where the pear trees are in our list of mods. There we go. Right. Another pear tree. And finally, we're going to invest in another apple tree. Here in this section. We'll put him right here. Alright, after 8 at night, we're still working. I've got the bigger of the two Volvo trucks. And we're headed over to the winery area. We will grab our flatbed truck and take a couple of pallets of wine over to a customer. It's not a terribly long trip. Just around the corner, so to speak. We'll pull out so we can load up. Jump out of our truck into the New Holland. Go on inside where we're storing the wine. Oh, looks like the wine may be stuck in the floor on us. At least that pallet. Well, yeah, that pallet may not be going anywhere. We'll have to take another one. Figure out how we detach that other pallet from the floor. That was a little risky coming down the ramp there. Oh, well. We've got all kinds of problems unloading the wine. Okay, we've got that pesky wine pallet off the floor. We'll see how squirrely it acts when it wants to go on the flatbed truck. Hopefully we didn't break any of our wine bottles in there. And back into the truck. And we are going to next to Dairy Fresh Milk Dairy with this. There's a freight yard there that said they buy our wine off of us. I think another project for Tommy is taking the rest of those pallets out of the winery and putting them in the warehouse. No traffic. Okay, this customer is on the left here. A little bit of a tight turn. Let's get the truck and trailer in here. Let's see if they will buy our wine from us. Yes. All right. Still here in the evening at Valley East. I'm in our Ford F-350 flatbed. I'm kind of pulling into the area of Field 3, which Field 3 is the opposite end of where we've got our fruit greenhouses. And kind of looking around, really considering farming, putting a crop in on this side of the field, since we're really not using the whole field for the fruit greenhouses. Although I notice where we're driving right now by the village, it seems pretty flat. It might be a good spot to put in more greenhouses if we wanted to. It does seem a shame to let all this land just sit here idle. Don't quite know. We'll have to think about it. Nothing says we can't plant a crop and later on use it for greenhouses. Might help us with the money a little bit. I'm going to drive back towards the village here through this idle ground. You know, even if we used just a small amount, an acre or two, put a crop in here, might be helpful to us. But that's something we'll have to think about. Alright, 6 a.m. the next morning. We've run through the night pretty quick. Kind of managed to keep up on chores overnight. Here with the Zeta Forterra 140 in Field 3, which is our fruit greenhouse field. I've got one little job I want to do with this. Over here by the strawberries. Here I've got the bucket that I've been loading and unloading our scraps with. And it is just in the way where it's sitting. Convenient for me to find, but it's right in the way of where we fill up our materials on the greenhouse. So I'm going to move it somewhere. Need somewhere where we can find it, don't run over it. I think on the far side of our greenhouse is going to be a good spot. Yep, there's still a little concrete over here. Drop it on the side where it's out of the way. Go back and pick up our pallet fork. Then, since we are kind of starting a new day, we're going to take a walk around the large greenhouse, talk about it a little bit. We've been tending to it quite a bit, but haven't really paused to talk about what it's all about. So I'll jump out here. This is our diesel generator, and we have the tipping point for putting diesel fuel into it. Our blue tank is for fresh water and its tipping point. This sort of grayish tank is for liquid fertilizer, and that's its tipping point. Each of these has a little sign that says what is grown in the greenhouse. This is our strawberries. This little display you can see in the upper left tells us the status of the greenhouse, how much materials we have, and where the crop stands, how much the crop's ready to go. Get 8% on the next pallet. This bin here is where we put what the greenhouse calls seeds, but it's actually the wheat that we've been harvesting. We need to put wheat in here, and its little tipping point. Have a little walk through. See, we've got our spray heads there that sprayed fertilizer and water onto our crop. We can drive through here, but there's really no necessary need for it. Over here, our ventilation. And our conveyor belt takes the strawberries outside to the loading pallet. And this greenhouse does stop its production once it runs out of materials or the pallet is full. There's our little chute where those scraps come out. Handy pile of pallets. The end of the conveyor where the strawberries drop down into boxes. Again, another handy sign that says what's actually in here, since all the greenhouses really look the same. Now I've been putting full pallets over here, off to the side, for when we get the truck up here to load them off back to the warehouse. And all the large greenhouses are basically the same except for what comes out of them. So yeah, that's the large greenhouses. Alright, we're down at field 22, which is the vegetable greenhouses. And we've got the small Volvo 500. Single axle in the back. But it's good for the yard work. A little chore this morning is we're going to go over and grab our Schmidt's cargo bowl trailer and take some manure over to the small greenhouses. Small greenhouses are a little different. That trough on the side, we need to take manure and dump it in there so our crops can grow. All right. So we'll show you how this is done with a couple of them. We've got quite a bit to do, so we might not get to all of them on screen. Alright, the unload trigger there. And the first one's full. Yep, we do spend a lot of time tending to our greenhouses, but if we want crops to come out of them, we've got to get these chores done. They always need some tending. And the third chili greenhouse. Okay, and I will finish up this chore off screen.